PG Live, so.
And you are running the soundboard because I'm that bitch.
I'm multitasking like a motherfucker.
I'm just like, you're going to be in town? Cool. You can get on that board. Yeah, we're shaking shit up today. I'm so excited that you're here. This is such a treat when we are in the room together. So, yes.
The chemistry is palpable.
Right? I know. It is our love language. So, as we always do in the beginning, we like to do a little housekeeping. So, if you like what you hear and you want to share it with your friends and family, go to the Good News Radio app, download it, and you can share us and listen to us live like today or our archived episodes.
Yes.
And you can also go to the website and listen to it as well. So please share it. And if you want to follow us on Twitter or Instagram, we're at The Hoops Talking. So it is with a G at the end. It's not talking. It's talking for those that might think we're cool and
proper
jivey,
grammar.
Right? And please leave us questions, comments, message us. We have been very active, actually. We've gotten a lot of amazing feedback from people that might be guests on the show.
Yes.
So we're super excited by that. I mean, we had great with Ana Sheila here last week.
Yeah.
Talked to her through Instagram.
Yeah.
So it's fantastic.
Awesome connections.
All these connections. Today, though, in addition to Karen being in the studio, we have two special guests. And we are super excited to have a friend of ours from way back in the day. He is also one of our fantasy basketballers. He is a Kawhi fanboy.
Fanboy.
I'm a man.
Sorry, a Kawhi fan man.
Oh,
and and his name is Zach Feintuch.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks.
I don't get excited, but I'm a little excited right now.
So
First time
tell us a little bit about yourself. Pitch yourself.
Okay, I'm Zach. I'm a nice guy.
Man.
I'm a nice, but guy and man, it's one and the same.
Okay, sorry.
Just to give you a heads up, Liz did piss me off a little bit right before the show. I was in a good mood. Now I'm not.
Riled him up.
I don't know how long I'll hold on to that for, but I can't imagine losing that.
It's for good live podcast
it's
content.
A scar on the
She
heart.
might have done it on purpose. Don't know.
Wow,
But,
I want a good show.
I'm a creative writer, and I'm just happy to be talking some basketball so I can school these ladies on a little true hoops.
Well, that's one of our special guests. Our second special guest. Oh, wait, talk about Herman's Hell really quick.
Well,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
So on the side, I work on this cartoon. It's called Herman's Hell. On Instagram, it's at Hermans_Hell.
Mm-hmm.
There's a profile picture. There's a bio. There's not much else, but it will be fun and a hell of a good time.
What a tease.
So I highly recommend you follow us. That's Hermans_Hell. Thank you for letting me get a free plug.
Absolutely. You deserve it. And we're following him. And so if you go to at the Hoops Talking, you'll be able to find Zach's Herman's Hell. And we're really excited for that. Thank you. And our second special guest is no stranger to the Good News Radio. As well as we muted him several times last episode, which won't be happening this episode because he is a guest. Well, I'm not going to promise anything, but it's going to be, we're going to treat you like a guest. He is a guest. So Mykell, please do an intro for yourself.
It is Mykell, the PG here, representing Courtside Radio. Man, I'm happy to be here. Just, Karen, I'm watching your finger if you get close to that mute button.
No, it's the clip. I'm trying to make you clip.
Thank you. So I'm hopefully you guys can hear me the entire show today. Because I'm here to school the ladies as well.
We ain't gonna prove shit to nobody. It's our show, bitch.
Hey. What?
It's a 2-on-2, guys.
It's a 2-on-2.
Guys
Bitch,
versus
it's my
chicks.
house. It's my home court.
Well, Karen's on the board, so really it's her house
Yes.
today.
So,
Today.
hey, Karen, I will be nice to you.
Mama's in charge.
So
Well,
is it a rule? Sorry,
yeah,
to
go ahead.
interrupt you. Is it a rule that guests don't get muted?
well, I mean, it's not.
We don't play by the rules.
Yeah.
Come on.
We're fluid.
I'm expecting
We're
you to get
rules
muted
fluid.
multiple times.
Oh, man.
We'll see. I mean, it's at our discretion, yes, but we try to, we want to make a safe space
Yes.
for everyone to have a conversation
Yeah.
and everyone
We're
to bring their
inclusive.
perspectives. So to do that, that means that we probably won't mute you as a rule, but we like
Side
to play.
eye will happen. Eyes rolling.
We'll work it out. We're gonna work it out on the mic.
I know how to
Fucked
push
up
Liz's
sound
buttons.
effects. Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
push some buttons
We'll
too.
work it out. We'll work it out on the mic. We'll work it out
love
on
it.
the mic. Work it out. So thank you both for being here. We're super excited to have you. We're super excited.
I'm
to be
fucking
here.
stoked, man.
Yeah, you should see Karen.
I feel
She
like I'm a
looks so good.
natural on this goddamn mic. How many mics do I rip on a daily?
Hey,
You
she's
like my
excited.
freestyle? You saw my freestyle flow on my IG stories. I don't even know what that was.
I missed that, but
That was some early
will have
morning,
to
no
archive it.
coffee situation.
oh, you mean when you're on the plane?
Yeah.
Yeah. I did see that. So thank you guys for being here. And you know what? We are going to go straight into our first segment. We're going to be talking about the NBA as we normally do. And I think we have to talk about the number one thing that's happening right now, which is what we're calling the free agency fuckery.
Fuckery.
It is full on fuckery. Like, I have not heard sources have told me more. I mean, if I drank every time I heard from sources or sources telling me, I'd be drunk. I'd literally have like no liver right now.
You'd be on the curb right there.
So yeah.
Agreed.
basically.
Hey, I agree 100%.
Right?
What sources do you have?
Well, no, that's what you keep
Everybody,
seeing everybody.
Yeah.
You
Sources
know?
say.
Sources said this. Sources inside told me. Sources, and it's just like, okay,
Sources could be
anyone.
the
Sources can
voices
be
in your brain.
Joe Smo that just
Yeah.
walked by and said, hey, I saw Kevin
Yeah,
Durant.
yeah.
He's going to
Or
visit the
Clipper
Lakers.
Daryl.
I mean, it could literally be anybody. So it's like, it's funny because today my husband walked in from his jog and he's like, hey, did you hear the latest Woj bomb? KD has opted out. And I'm like, so let me get this straight. The bomb is that he had two choices and he picked one.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Yeah, so dramatic.
Man.
But, hey, it pays the bills. So I want to, let's talk about this. I think the big one is, as I mentioned, Kevin Durant did decline his $31.5 million player option with Golden State Warriors and has decided to become an unrestricted free agent. And I'd love to hear from the room. Do you think that this was something that Kevin was thinking about prior to that injury he ended up sustaining? Even when you think about when he got it prior to the one that in the finals, but the one I think he was playing Houston. Or do you think that it's just kind of like all snowballed into like, you know what, this stuff happened to me and I want to have my own team. It kind of solidified what he, wanted to do already. So what do you guys think? Because I know what I think. What do you guys think?
Yeah, let's let our
think-
guest talk.
Yeah, I think that Kevin Durant, I think he had this planned already. Like, this is
Really?
the move I was
Okay.
going to make
Mm-hmm.
because, he's going to be 31 years old when next season comes. So he's like, man, I have to make sure I secure me a long-term bag. I don't want to have to keep doing these 2-year deals and opting out because, like, an injury like this can happen. It can carry on. So especially now, do it now. Try to get your big money for the next few years. So by the time you're 35, 36, you're already at the big contract, and then you can make your next move after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you? What are you thinking?
Well, here's how I feel about Kevin Durant. Spectacular talent, one of the greatest players I've ever seen. Heart of not a warrior, because he's been planning this for the last year. He went to Golden State. He cut the line to try to get to championships, thinking, he could compete with LeBron in championships. Problem is, you just joined a 73-win, historically great team. So No one's giving you the credit for 2 Finals MVPs. It's easy to get the Finals MVP when you've got a team of all-stars behind you.
Okay.
Agreed.
All right. Then last year I watched LeBron drop 50 in Game 1 with a garbage team behind him and almost pull out that Game 1 win. So anyway, I think now he's like, okay, what do I do? How do I get credit for being the best basketball player on the planet? Oh, right. I got to go back and have my own team and win that way. Problem is, he's just not that great, and he's not going to get a championship. But I do feel bad for him for his leg. So this has been in the making for a year. Draymond called it out earlier in the season. That was a source of tension between the team.
Yep.
that's
And
what your sources say.
And I don't understand why he can't. Yeah, I got my own sources in my head. I don't understand why he can't just come out and say already, this is the deal. These are great teammates, but I'm ready to take I learned how to win with these guys. Now I can do it on my own again.
I think due to the injury, now he's kind of looking at it different. And to me, I believe that no matter where Kevin Durant plays, and once he comes back, and if he's winning and playing Finals MVP ball, that he's going to finally get his due credit, because they're going to look at the Warriors and say, look, they couldn't win without KD.
I guess my whole thing, and Karen, I'll let you make your point after this. My whole thing is like, I don't understand like what level of credit are we saying that he's not getting? I mean, if you listen to all of the newscasters, they full on said Warriors are not going to win without KD. KD is the best player to date. Like, I feel like that is credit. He's already won a championship with the Warriors, so he does have a ring. Yes, it was whatever. He came from OKC, and so there's that whole, like, snake and this and that. But those are narratives that he himself, like, digs into because of the way that he is on social and the way that he uses it. So I don't really see, like, I mean, does he have... So it's like, if he doesn't do what LeBron did and take a shitty team to the champion, he had OKC. I mean,
they were a great team, by the way.
Yeah, I know, but Harden left. He had the pieces. Yep. He goes to the Warriors. He gets them. Then he's proclaimed the greatest, player of the time in that, and he got a ring. And it's like, I don't know. I feel like that's giving him credit, but I don't know. I'd love to hear what Karen has to say about.
Well, no, I agree with you. He's got the cred. Like, reporters, analysts, all of them talk about him being one of the greats. So to me, that's just insecurity for him to feel like he has to do what he has to do or prove something. And again, going back to being a troll, most online trolls are insecure motherfuckers anyway, because they ain't going to come to your face and say that shit. So, Katie need to work that out, because honestly, like you said, it was in his plan. He was going to take this short term, cutting the line to championship, and then go figure out what he wants to fucking do. But that's why the whole time for me is like, fine, we're taking KD. But like, again, like we mentioned on an old episode, the Warriors took KD to eliminate competition. Not because they needed him.
Agreed.
It's like a studio buying other similar scripts so that they don't have to compete with that when they release their movie, some rom-com, Asian rom-com. They bought all the other ones on the market. So, I mean, I like all your other sentiments. I'm totally in agreement with.
Well, I know that Karen has never been someone who felt that they needed KD. No. Like, she, on record, you can go all of our episodes, and she's always been someone who's like, we didn't ever really need him. But it's it's funny to say that when you have him, you know what I mean? True. Like, so I think it's complicated. I will agree that this was in the making before the injuries.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that's kind of where it's been.
I think they could have won without KD if Klay doesn't get hurt.
Yeah. That Game 6 Klay and then getting hurt, that was
So you want to know
huge.
Who's not giving him credit? Kevin Durant's not giving himself credit.
Yep.
Because he knows inside of his head that he cut the line.
Yep.
And in order to prove the critics or himself, I should say, I got to go do it somewhere else.
Yeah, but I don't think he can carry a team.
I don't think he can
skills
either.
Does not carry a team.
Can anybody really? I mean, we saw
LeBron,
right?
LeBron
we
did.
saw,
But even LeBron,
he had Kyrie.
Kyrie and Kevin Love.
is Kyrie, and Kevin Love. I know a lot of people want to. We
With
forget about that.
But no one's asking Kevin Durant to do it all by himself.
Kyle Korver.
Yep.
He did. It was like this Raptors team, really, if you think about it.
True. Yeah.
Because you have Kyrie coming in, and then you have Kyle, and you have Van Vliet. So you do have these, the same caliber player to potentially what Cleveland had at the time when LeBron was in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess you could say they did take a team, and KD.
But I
Let me
can't.
clarify. Sorry, go
Kawhi
ahead.
and LeBron don't. For me, that's not a matchup.
I don't think so either. But let me clarify.
Really?
Wait, what?
Okay.
Kawhi is great.
He's great. He's not LeBron.
Nobody's LeBron.
Well,
There's a.
If you look at their first 8 years,
he's
Kawhi's
gonna talk numbers.
Kawhi's numbers are like almost identical or better, other than the MVPs, but because people always loved LeBron, you know, at the beginning. Kawhi has 2 defensive player of the years, 2 final MVPs.
and Kawhi's like what, 22?
No,
Kawhi is
no,
hitting
no,
28 or
no.
29.
Yeah, 27.
okay.
He's
like
mid-
27.
mid-career.
Well, really quick before we I know we're going, but I want to
shit,
go to
yeah.
the chat because we have some.
Oh, we got
we
some
got
chats.
we got some chats.
Oh, our favorite.
We have Keith is saying that his sources say that Kobe's going to come back for another year, which I think
Oh, man.
That's
really
hilarious.
funny.
What about
Anonymous Knicks fan
Ray Felton.
says that his sources say that Lakers will sign Ray Felton.
Hey, you guys' sources are terrible. I hope your sources aren't right, because
Yeah, that's
Kobe
true.
has the dad bod. He needs to stay away. And Raymond Felton is just terrible.
mean, he's always had a dad body.
Hey, yeah.
Also, anonymous Knicks fan also says KD could have taken option and then next year sign a 5-year with Warriors and forced a sign and trade. I think all he can do now is sign a 4-year with another team.
Agreed. I think he's going to be a Knick.
And then he also said that the Warriors needed KD this year. So he agrees with that assessment. You think he's going to be a Knick? That's interesting.
Didn't he already buy property in New York?
Well, I
mean,
saw you guys saw his. He was in Soho with his boot
Soho,
on and his little like.
yeah, and
scooter
he's
cruising
getting
around.
treatment in New York.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Signs point to.
Here's
obvious.
the thing. I lived in New York for a little over a handful of years. I don't know who else has. I don't know. I'm sure you guys have ever lived like there. And I'll tell you, it is definitely a drug. Like New York she's a harsh mistress.
Yes,
you know?
but
she
you
giveth
love
and she
her.
taketh.
Yeah.
And you just like are just like mainlining New York. And you're from.
Well, I
You're from
OD'd
there.
on New York after 25 years.
Do you want to ever go back?
I have not been back in the last 5+ years. I don't have any plans on going back,
No?
to be honest.
You're La La Land now?
He's
LA
over-
is home.
Okay.
I love it.
All
All
right.
right. Okay.
Well, anonymous Knicks fan 922 recently, my sources tell me that he would probably move back to New York, but we're in LA for.
Well, what does
for
the
long
Queen have
haul.
to say about that?
That's
The Queen
different.
is in LA. But yeah, so I mean I bring that up because these players, like you just saw RJ Barrett,
Yep.
right?
Drafted to the Knicks. Yeah.
He was drafted to the Knicks. He wanted to be the Knicks. That was like his goal was to be with the Knicks, and they are just.
Happy
I mean,
boy.
he is so happy.
Yes.
He wants to do all those things that maybe Kevin Durant thought, I want to do those things, and he's being embraced by the city, and you could see like he's just living. They took him to pizza parlors and
Yeah.
Empire State Building. I mean, this guy is on a goodwill tour
Hell
of New
yeah.
York City.
All the touristy
Probably
things.
become, run for mayor at some point. I'm sure he would get elected. So it gets in your skin.
Yeah, yeah.
It gets in your skin, and I think that if KD is finding his life there. I mean, there's also the Nets. Are we just not even going to talk about the Nets?
But the reason why I say the Knicks, because it may be the Nets, him and Kyrie may go there together. I say the Knicks because if you're going to leave Golden State, which right now is the premier team in the league, they've been in the championship, the past 5 years, won 3 of them. Why would you go to the second-class New York team where you can go to New York and play for the team that everyone knows in New York? They're still a billion-dollar franchise, one of the top 5 franchises when it comes to costs
Sold-out
and
seats.
Right.
Yep.
things like
Speaking
that.
of fuckery, there's a guy named Jim Dolan who
True.
owns the team.
Yeah, but we're unpacking our fuckery with the buses
with the
right
buses,
now.
yep.
I mean,
And Dan Gilbert, LeBron. If you go over there and win for Kevin Durant, no one gives a damn about James Dolan anymore.
True.
Yeah.
It's just about who's on the court, who's playing, who's winning.
I will tell you, if anybody who takes the Knicks to a finals, even just fucking just takes it to the finals at this point,
No.
you are God.
Yeah,
That's
for
it.
real.
Yes,
Yeah.
done.
That is it.
You're going to go home to 30 virgins.
and KD has something to prove, I guess, obviously. So that might be the route.
I will say
He
that
wants to be God.
I have said that I always thought KD one, he just has that complex, which I think will fit for, for being at the Garden. But at the same time, he's pretty sensitive when it comes to what the media has to say and what social, and they will boo the fuck out of you in the Garden.
Do you know what will help him?
Therapy.
Is that, of course.
Crystals.
That, of course.
A sage cleansing.
Right now, because of the injury, he has a lot of sympathy being thrown at him.
Yeah,
so with him being able to sit back for the year and being at the games and the booth cheering on his team, it's just going to be all love. So when he does get back on the court, he can't do any wrong because they're just going to be excited to have him on their team playing. So I think that he's in a win-win when it comes to joining.
I don't know. I saw the Staten Mallow years, and everybody was super excited about that. And then they just crucified those guys. And then the Linsanity out there for that. So I've seen a lot of times where they're just because they're just fed up. Yeah, they're paying the same fucking prices for the tickets for losers. I mean, and you can't even tank anymore. So you can't even be good at tanking because the draft doesn't pay for that.
Hey, we feeling like that lately with the Lakers because we've been paying these crazy prices for ass whoopings. Yeah.
No, I agree with you. I think we went to 2 games maybe last season, and we were just okay, that's it. That's it. Budget. Yeah.
Wait, was LeBron playing?
Yeah.
No, and LeBron wasn't even. Oh no, it was the season before. I'm sorry. No, because we couldn't even get LeBron tickets.
Okay.
That's just out of price range.
Yeah, that's out of price. But even the season before, and I think we went to go see when they played the Knicks, and I forget what.
So 2 D-League teams playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we were able to get tickets.
Man.
So yeah, and that's when D Rose was still on the Knicks.
Oh wow.
Which I got to tell you, I mean, I know this is kind of off track, but he's fast. Wow. I was whoa, I was blown away. His legs were just, I mean, he was very, very good when we saw him. But then again, he was on that team. So
yeah,
he was faster before.
Within context of that team.
There's one thing I want to say on Kevin Durant.
Okay.
And that is no one's asking him to be, to win a championship. No one's asking him to, do it all by himself. Mm-hmm. We're just asking him to compete at a high level for a non-historically great team.
True.
I ain't asking shit.
Yeah, I'm really not asking
anything.
Give a fuck
what he does.
I give a fuck because I want to see people compete, not join forces.
Agreed.
I think those days are done. I think we're just in super team mode.
Yeah,
and that's how we're building it. Mm-hmm. I think that's just
but let's teams. Cut it out at super team, not super duper team.
Okay.
Super duper team.
I mean, let's cut it off at 3 stars.
Kanye over there. Huh?
super team.
Did I mention I'm a genius?
Lyrical genius.
Well, I think this is I think KD is a good topic because he just has a lot of elements to his story as well.
Yeah, always a good topic.
Love
to hate him.
Yeah, and there's a lot of polarizing that he is as a player and as, his social, personal stuff. So it will be I think the real bomb is when we find out where he decides to go.
Yes.
Because the options are, people will take him to sit on the bench for a season.
Agreed. Yep.
So that is a mark of someone that is still, he's in it. He's in it, even without being in it.
I never thought about this. He may be Anonymous Nick fan 922. he may be chiming in with this different stuff just so he can,
Maybe. That's his burner account. Shit. Anonymous Nick
The whole time we thought it was someone else.
We thought it was someone, but it was Katie's burner account. Number 10. Because he sure has a lot of stuff to say about.
He's got a lot of time.
He's got a lot of time on his hands.
Is he going to call in with a fake voice like Kyrie?
Hey, that was insane. That was insane.
Oh, I would love that.
No, that's hilarious.
I don't know. Did you hear about that, Zach?
I didn't.
So there is a sports talk show that someone called in to talk about Kyrie, and they're like, it's pretty much Kyrie doing a fake voice. They're like this.
But you can
Kyrie.
clearly tell it's Kyrie.
Yeah.
And what did he have to say?
Well, that they weren't giving him a chance and that he's a really good player. Yeah. And, the Celtics did him wrong.
Oh, really?
So Kyrie and KD will be the perfect teammates because they will have so many burner accounts.
And New York City is the perfect
for
place to be
both of
unhappy.
guys.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
for a
My
little
God.
prick.
Wow. That's, well, we'd have a lot of stuff to talk about on this show if that were
Good
to
content.
happen.
Yes.
Okay, so also, we saw that Kawhi has been, there's sources tell us that Kawhi is in LA.
Yep.
And that he's going to meet with the Clippers and the potential to meet with Los Angeles. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I don't think he's going to be a Clipper myself. I don't think he's going to be a Laker either. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. What do you guys think?
Do you think he's going to be on a team in the NBA?
I don't. I think he's just going to join you on the sofa for Herman's Hell.
Oh, man.
I have to let Kawhi know. The sofa, it's a damn good place to
be. Well, you being the fan man, Kawhi fan man, tell us, what are your thoughts? What do you think he's
I hope
do?
he doesn't join the Lakers.
Why do you say that?
I've
duper team.
become a Laker. I've become a Lakers fan, but I want to watch them compete. I don't want to watch them sweep through the entire season and then
I disagree with you.
Hey,
where's the fun in that?
I'm a Lakers fan too, and I don't want to see it be that easy. So I'm hoping he doesn't come to the Lakers. If he comes, hey, I'm at the parade. I'm in the front.
Listen. It's never as bad as you think it's going to be.
Those tickets are going to be real expensive. Forget about it.
I would rather see him stick with the Raptors to make sure the East is still a powerhouse, or come over to the Clippers and I'd love to see a Western Conference Finals between the Lakers and the Clippers. That would be awesome.
Well, what he should do is do the Kevin Durant move that Kevin has done the last few years. Is just sign a one-off deal. Mm-hmm. Go and defend your championship. See if you can do it twice, and then next year, it'll be
move on.
Move on if you want to. The Clippers can just kind of like, all right, we just have to wait 1 year to try to get him, but. Yeah, it's like, man, what happened to guys like, hey, I won the championship, I want to defend it and show you guys that I'm still that guy.
I think he did. He just did.
By winning the one in
he just came
Toronto?
to a new country,
put
on a show,
Spurs
won the championship, and I think he would be kind of badass if he was like, all right, peace, I'm out of here.
Well, who else hasn't won a championship? Maybe that's his next team.
Wow.
Gotta be the
Captain
Clippers.
Save a Ho.
Hey, believe me, Clipper Darryl is making commercials.
Oh, that's a billboard.
Oh, we saw the
billboard.
billboard.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
So he's doing everything. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that was him. That was Clipper Darryl's billboard?
Yeah.
Yeah. He would clean his feet. He would do whatever he needed.
He would do whatever. He can get him like a Toyota Corolla to rent if you wanted
Yeah.
an Escalade, all the different size cars.
Fucking Corolla.
Hey,
that guy is insane.
He is definitely the ambassador for getting them there.
Yep.
I will say the one thing that I really appreciate about Kawhi is that he's just like, oh, let me get this straight. I can do whatever I want because this is my life and I'm the athlete and I'm the one that has the choices. So that's what's going to happen. And I think that's really smart. And I think we're going to be seeing more and more of that, of players coming into the league and saying like, you know what, if I have decisions that I need to make, those are going to be what I do. And I'm not going to let outside sources make those decisions for me.
That's a character, personality difference between him and KD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's comfortable with himself. KD's clearly still growing.
The only question I have about Kawhi coming to LA is the fact that you're going to be Hollywood now. Like, are you going to be willing to show up to these obligations, to these award shows?
I feel like he just won't do that.
Yeah,
like I just think he'll just be like, I don't do it. I don't have social.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. I don't have to do it. If it's not like his obligation,
we'll have to take him at his word that he's
but
a
think
fun
about
guy.
this. Think about this. The way that LA embraces their superstars. So with the Lakers, you had Magic, who was right there in your face,
totally
wherever
Agreed.
you want. That's why we love Shaq. Because he was right there in your face. That's why some people didn't like Kobe, because it was he's very low key. He's not out there like that. So we got LeBron. We're like, cool, LeBron, he's here.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess I would say like Kareem was pretty low key.
Yeah,
but
he was a secondary guy.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but we're talking about the Clippers. He doesn't have to do that for the Lakers.
No, but
Clippers
still,
is a whole different thing.
But with the Clippers now, the expectation after this year that no one expected with Kawhi is like, we get Kawhi, we're going to be a top 4 team in the NBA. And you're in LA no matter what. That's why you see billboards with Todd Gurley, different Charger players. You're in LA. We need to put you out there because we want the city to love you. This is how we make even more money. So he's going to have to step up to that.
I think you said the key right there is money.
Yeah.
And I always say follow the money.
Yep.
Follow the money, because that is going to be the root. That's why people do what they do. At the end of the day, it's going to be about money. And if that's, right now they're bringing in, if they have a talent like LeBron, who is about doing Space Jam and, barbershop and all those other things, then this is perfect town for him. Mm-hmm. So maybe in that sense, Kawhi is like, I don't need that business.
Kawhi needs a podcast.
I would love to have him.
Come over here, Kawhi. Good news radio.
Ha, ha, ha,
ha. Really quick, I'm going to go to the chat. Keith says, nah, they just needed Clay. He doesn't think they needed Kawhi. And in all caps, Anonymous Knicks fan is saying Kawhi is not signing with the Lakers. So he doesn't even want us to be discussing.
No, I don't think he's going to Lakers. He doesn't want to play with LeBron. He's like me and LeBron are 1-1. He beat me the first year. I beat him the second year. I want to be able to beat him. So I don't think he's coming close to playing for the Lakers.
But also, I mean, if you think about it, like Kawhi is like KD doing what he did, opting out. Like the spotlight is back on him, and Kawhi is like low key doing all these visits or whatever. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. Do you want to add anything to this Kawhi situation, Karen?
No, I mean, but there's so much more to talk about fucking free agency fuckery.
I know.
So I don't know what we want to do.
Well, I wanted to ask you guys, because besides Karen, who's our Warrior fan, we being Laker fans here, how do we build a Lakers team?
There you go.
Let's think about this. Okay, so when you look at who is available for free agency,
Jimmy Butler.
He's talked about it.
Don't you dare.
Just the butt.
And looking at the free agency, who you got LeBron and AD as your key pieces, right, to build around. What do you think they should just put all the money into like signing a big guy, like a big, contract, or should they be spreading it out? I mean, there's so much discussion on exactly what they need to do. And also, like, personally, I don't want, like, there's these rumors of J.R. Smith and Carmelo Anthony, and I'm just like, I love Carmelo Anthony.
You wanted him over too.
Yeah, I was like,
season.
But when you have such tight cap space, and I'm just like, I don't know. That's not what I want to be hearing right now. Like, I just want to hear about some key pieces. Like, where is that? Like, let's not, just because they're friends of LeBron or went to a barbecue or Taco Tuesday.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean everybody needs to be on the bench. Okay. So what do you guys think? I agree with Keith that I think Clay to the Lakers would be a great decision. I don't think we have enough money for him.
I think Keith might have been talking about, because Anonymous Knicks was talking about Warriors need KD this year, and Keith said, nah, they just needed Clay.
Oh, okay. So maybe Keith does not think
right,
that.
Keith?
I think that Liz, by myself,
Liz wants that
Clay
magic.
Well, I fucking love Clay. I've always said this, Clay forever. He is like a huge, like, dope. I love him. I think he's like, he would be great for,
no, thank
team.
You.
Karen does not care for him.
No, I mean, we're keeping Clay. No. Not for you.
I don't think we can afford him anyways. But what do you guys, like, what are the pieces? Like, how do we build the new starting five? Or do we look at the bench? Like, so you have AD and LeBron, Kuz, which is considered that third piece. What are we missing? What do we need? Outside shooters? What are we looking for? Go ahead, Zach.
I think you got to go and get D'Angelo Russell back.
No.
Yes. He's going to be in his 5th season now. He can already. He's a proven all-star talent.
Boomerang.
He can shoot from outside. That's what they need, by the way. They need to just surround LeBron with ace shooters, because he is a terrific passer. And there's other guys who they just need guys to step up and play defense. Like a Danny Green type or something like that.
I can see Danny Green.
But I would spend them. I would spread the wealth. I wouldn't go all in on one player.
Okay.
We just saw what could happen if you lose a couple of your all-stars. Then you've got a bench full of
cold bench.
Quinn Cook or
Quinn
or
Cook.
Jerebko or you need a sufficient bench.
Yep.
So for me, it's just build it. You've got 2 of the top 7 best players in the NBA. Just build a team around them. That's all you need.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. When it comes to D'Angelo, I think he's going to ask for max money or close to it. So I would stay away from him. So I would just build, like you said earlier, Liz, that I think that it's the end of the super teams. So you can go back to like, okay, we have our new version of Shaq and Kobe with LeBron and AD, and let's just go use that money to get a whole bunch of pieces to have around, because like you said with the Warriors, the fact that the injuries killed them because their bench were terrible. Like me and you could have went out there and played, and people would have been like, "Oh, okay, this is the Warriors," you know. So it's
there
like
goes Jerebko.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I'm Quinn Cook, I guess. And you just build, go like we talked about earlier. You sign a guy like Seth Curry to bring shooting, defense, and just get a lot of good guys instead of having 7 good players. You have 9 or 10. Right. Because plus, especially with LeBron being older, he's 34, but his body's probably 40.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So it's like you want to get a whole bunch of players so you can have a full team that they can just win games and stuff during the regular season. Then once the playoffs come, all right, now LeBron, you can play your 40 minutes. So that's the way I would go.
I mean, there's also a thing to think about, like if let's just say this is going to be LeBron's, like this is the year he's got to do it. Would we want guys that he feels he can trust? So if we're talking about a Kyle Korver or a Kyrie or, those pieces that like Melo, as a guy he can trust, is someone that was on the banana boat, like this is, because he needs to be able to like be able to feel he can trust the people on his team.
Can he trust J.R. Smith?
I don't think he can trust
no one
J.R.
can.
Smith.
No, that's my point.
Yeah.
I mean,
He doesn't even know the time on the clock. So I will keep him far. And can you imagine JR being a Laker, like him in Hollywood partying?
No, even worse.
Make sure you trust your teammates on the court. Forget about being off the court.
Yeah.
I know, but then his debauchery off court will just carry over in court.
Right, so I'm saying no JR, no Melo.
Yeah.
Just keep it basketball.
Yeah, a bunch of new guys that are going to be hungry and just want to win. And, because then you have to also think that we know that LeBron is aging. So we're hoping that AD can stay healthy.
Right.
It's going to become his team. So we want guys that he's comfortable around too. So say if LeBron does start to deal with more injuries like he did this year, that AD can have on the court and be like, okay, I trust these guys. I can win with them until LeBron is, where I need him to be.
Well, I think you also have to deal with the pressure. Because the pressure for the West Conference is huge, because we all know, and no disrespect, Karen, Warriors are not going to be that team again.
Yeah. Sorry, Karen.
I know.
Karen.
It's all right. I already
Talk to us. So tell us your feelings.
I already talked to my therapist. We're good. Dealt with it.
I don't think it's that severe. I mean,
it's not severe, but, I like to set my expectations at a certain level.
Yeah.
I don't think they're underdogs.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're like, they were shown to be defeated.
I think they're underdogs.
But they've shown that they can win.
You really think they're underdogs?
I think they're still seen as underdogs often.
I don't
like
never
people think
see
it's a whole
them.
cheat and, like bringing in KD even more. I'm glad. No, that makes me happy that you don't.
No.
I think
For
they
sure
are.
don't.
Because with no Kevin Durant, Clay may not be back until February or March. That's a lot of games you're going to play with just Steph Curry. You don't want Draymond Green as your second scorer, because if he is, you are in
Are they keeping Boogie?
trouble. They may have to end up keeping Boogie, if they want to.
Yeah.
And you will have to see how he looks, because in the finals he couldn't even get off the ground. You know what I'm saying?
So
Yeah.
so heavy.
I just don't think that they really have. They're going to be a team that's going to win because they have a good system and stuff like that, but they won't be a top 5.
Right.
I mean, but their
championship
system
team.
is really shoot from the 3.
Yeah.
If Clay goes, if he were to go, then you just got Steph
Yeah.
at the clip, doing the threes. It's going to be difficult for them.
Yeah.
I think so. So I feel like if you're going to do it, this is the time. So we're putting a lot of pressure
on the Lakers.
the Lakers,
Mm-hmm.
which I think.
I just asked that the West isn't heavy, Because then otherwise it's like the Western Conference Finals is the NBA Finals, and then no one's going to want to watch the finals. Like, we don't need that again.
I think the Bucks have proven the 76ers were interesting.
Yep.
Jimmy Butler, though, is also opted out. So
yeah, Butler and Tobias. So we'll see.
That's right. That's right.
And then you even have to remember with the Bucks that Chris Middleton is a free agent.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
What if he just decides to say, I want to be, somewhere else? And
right.
That changes their whole situation.
That is very interesting.
It's crazy, man. The NBA is like a soap opera. Like, it is the only sport that all year round you're just excited. It was people looking forward to the off season more than watching the finals and stuff like that, because they're like, what the hell is going to happen with all these players? So I'm so excited.
I think that, free agency, I read last episode, the top 20 guys that are in there. This is crazy.
Man,
so many.
Really?
This is crazy.
From that 20, you can create 2 different teams and have a good 2 franchises.
You could
Separate,
actually create a whole new conference with just these guys on this team.
Agreed.
But bring in Mexico.
Middle Earth Conference.
You got Canada. Bring in Mexico.
Add
Come
some
on.
more. Yeah. Add some more.
Crazy.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah,
Mexico.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Just no Dominican Republic. We don't want our guys.
Oh shit! There's a lot of stuff going down.
Yeah.
In the DR.
Man.
The DR.
So you want to keep our guys away from there.
Ooh, yeah, that's crazy shit going on there. Cool. Yeah, I think are we ready to pop on to our next segment?
Yeah. Do
Karen?
I do a transitional
do a little transition
musical break?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do a little break.
So shut your mouth.
Do it. Nice. Karen on the board over here.
I used to be a DJ. It's all good. I know soundboard.
DJ? Fuck?
I went to school for broadcasting, y'all. Soundboards.
What?
I got this.
Yeah,
you don't know.
I don't know. I wish I knew. I cannot do this.
I just have ADD. I have to learn
multitask.
a little bit about everything, and then I'm over it.
I can't multitask, so it's difficult for me. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about the WNBA. And I know Zach and Mykell were both experts in the WNBA. They actually, that's why they wanted to come on this show. They
for
were
this
just
specific episode.
We are such experts. Okay, I'm fucking lying because they both were like, we know nothing.
Can I take my bathroom break right now?
No.
Just don't be loud up in
there. Because we are here to educate, and you're going to have some growth.
Oh, thank you.
With the WNBA. So that is something that we
too?
like. Yes, you too. All of us.
Right,
Everybody here.
Let's do it.
Well, first off, the All-Star game is going to be in Las Vegas on Saturday, July 27th. And this year, they are doing 2 days. So the 26th, they're having the 3-point contest and all those outside, pretty much like an All-Star. Fan stuff. Yeah, it's supposed to be really awesome because they did build that stadium for the Aces. So you got that. And then the voting for the All-Star is open, and I've been voting generously.
We got to stick that on our
I've been
stories.
putting a lot of sparks. I've been voting for mostly sparks. But one of the things that I think is really important that we highlight is this new hashtag, the hashtag WNBA travel, which came about because of the travel horror stories that the WNBA has been going through because of the fact that they don't have adequate ways to get to and from the games that they're playing. So you've had
so many.
The most recent one was the Indiana Fever spent 8 hours traveling back to Indianapolis after playing the Seattle Storm. And then that following night, they were going to be playing the Minnesota Lynx. So we're talking about these, athletes.
Elite
athletes just finished a game. And then, Mykell, you play, right? You play basketball. I think you're probably the only one. Well, Zach did some pickup games. Go ahead.
No comment.
I play ball.
And Karen also played. I did not. I watched. I was a fan. So you can understand how tired
No, yeah.
You're going to be after competition.
fucking-
Once your
Yeah.
body's tired, it's like your body, then mentally you're just not all the way in tune, and you have no chance.
So if you could like be taken care of because that's your job,
Yeah.
right? To go to another game, that would be good, right? That's all I'm saying. So I see this. I follow WNBA, and I'm like, people are like, oh, what can we do? What can we do? I think that we just need to keep highlighting that this is a mess, and they're not getting the respect that they're
treated
deserve.
like shit. Yeah.
These athletes, I mean, if you've ever gone to a game, I've been going to the LA Sparks games. They're fucking amazing. You see them out there. They're busting their ass. I don't know. I sound like a broken record because I talk about this every episode now that I've, gone full force. Because I even said it myself. I was embarrassed because I didn't watch the WNBA till this season. And I had no reason why I didn't. It just was never in my radar. But you were like, the fuck? It's basketball. If you love basketball. Because the big three is going on right now.
No, yeah,
and
yeah,
you could probably talk to me about the big three, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's like Uncle Drew happening in real life,
True.
essentially. And you could talk to me about that, but you still couldn't talk to me about the WNBA.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it's basketball. And it's athletes playing basketball. And and honestly, like, if it wasn't for me, I would 100% say I've been to games and it's not for me, right? I think everybody can give something a chance. Like, I know bowling isn't for me. I've tried watching it. I know golf isn't for me. I've tried watching it. There's certain sports that, normally it's a sport that if I can play it, probably something I don't want to watch.
Yeah, true.
For
Yep.
me, because I'm just like, if I can
what's
play
going
that,
on?
then I don't want to watch it.
I've bit my tongue long enough.
Say something.
It's not controversial. Actually, it's time for me to come out of the closet. I know a little bit more about WNBA.
Oh,
than-
Oh.
okay.
Yes.
All
Oh,
right.
come out that closet,
Come out.
baby.
We
It's a
we
pride
open
month.
closet doors every episode. All
Yeah.
right.
When
do
I
it.
was a little kid,
Okay.
I used to record like championship games of all four major sports, and then when the WNBA came out, I even went as far as to record some of those championship games as well.
Okay.
So I do know a little bit about its history.
Okay.
I saw the Comets for Pete, the Houston
Yeah.
Comets.
Oh, I used to watch. Oh, so we're talking
Alright.
like that. I used to
Alright.
watch
Okay.
the beginning.
There's 20 years of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also know some superstars' names. So when it comes to their
Yeah.
travel right now,
Yeah.
is there money? Is there money for their travel?
No.
If there is, then I'm pissed. If there's not, then I don't have a solution.
Well, Mykell, you were talking about something about the
Ref salary.
The ref salary.
Yeah.
You mentioned that.
So yeah,
comment.
I saw for the NBA, the NBA refs are being paid more than the WNBA players
Wow.
and the bottom guys on the NBA bench. But just the fact that if you're a star
right.
WNBA player, you may be on billboards, you show up to
Yep.
stadiums, you're
Endorsements.
you're there, you have
Fans,
endorsements.
shoes.
But you're being paid less than an NBA referee. Like,
Yeah.
that is insane. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
We
saying?
we know the NBA makes a lot more money than the WNBA.
Yeah, we
so
know.
my question is, if there is money there, like, where would the money come from?
It comes to the NBA it's all connected.
Yep.
It's all one. The NBA and WNBA is all one.
Right.
So there's revenue left over. You're saying that's not being given
It's just
to the women.
unequally.
Yeah, it's just
distributed.
unequally distributed. Exactly.
Yeah. I think they should find a way to spread this money out to make the because if you look at college women's college basketball,
Yep.
I actually watch that because it's so exciting. Like, the crowd is amazing, the
Yep.
games are amazing. It's like that's how it used to be in the WNBA when you watch Cynthia Cooper or Cheryl Swoops go against Lisa Leslie and those ladies there. It's like, why can't you carry over that women's college basketball atmosphere
Right.
to the WNBA? Because it's the same players.
Right.
Yep.
So
Right.
I just don't understand that. I just saw the story, and the fact that they had a flight at 7:30, or they had a flight at 10:30. They showed up at 7:30. Their flight was canceled, so they had to wait. So they ended up taking an 8-hour bus ride.
Yep.
That's
so
so
it's
fucked.
like, it's crazy.
I mean, the NBA could really have a wheels up partnership or some kind of and we talked about this in another episode.
Yeah.
You could even with friends, you get 20 people, you could get a private jet, and it's cheaper than regular round trip tickets. So it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's pretty maddening.
It's trash.
And to be quite honest, if going back to how I say follow the money, you're leaving money on the table if you're not looking to invest in something like the WNBA.
True.
You're leaving money on the table. Okay. It's a fact.
And we know this as marketers. Women are like number one retailers, customers, shoppers.
Yeah.
They control about over 50% of a household income.
They're usually the head of the household,
right?
Especially when it comes to like purchasing power.
Yeah. And can you imagine the plethora of just like retail, fashion brand sponsorships, just that alone?
Yeah.
Like it's just someone's not smart that's running the WNBA.
No.
And they're neglecting it. The NBA is neglecting it.
I think so. The owner, I want to say part owner of the Nets, just bought the New York Liberty.
Oh.
So he has added investment. He has added.
So are they going to play
value.
out of Barclays now?
So that's actually not a bad idea. But no, I haven't. He may, but I know that. So they play in Westchester, and he. Like prior to him owning it, it was owned by MSG. So I think it was owned by. I don't know if it was owned by the Dolans.
He was the governing person.
So the reporters that would go and cover the games, they were saying prior to this being bought by this guy, that it was deplorable. Like they never had enough equipment. They never had enough plugs. I mean, they were just like, it was really. The equipment was always broken, so even to try to cover it was very difficult. And so now with this guy investing, he's promised to like say, no, we're going to be state of the art. We're going to bring it up to like, that's why they're broadcast on the Yes Network.
Yep.
Yeah. So they're going to be smart people. I mean, if you think about someone like the Raptors guy, who this was, what's his name? The owner, the one that got
harassed by the sheriff.
Yeah. Look at him. He took a chance, right? Mm-hmm. When you get people that are visionaries, that are gonna take the risks, and it's not even a fucking risk. Like WNBA's been around for a minute, so like, where the fuck is the risk?
I know
you're getting the tickets sold. People want it. People are asking for it. If you're not fucking realizing this in today's day and age, you're just being stupid. And I don't know. Like I said,
the NBA has to be more of a big brother to the WNBA,
and the players are. You hear them always in support. They're at games watching.
And maybe it's something that they can put into their players' contracts. Hey, we want you guys to do more to, support the WNBA, especially the teams in your city, show up to a few games, stuff like that. They just have to do a better job of actually promoting it, because when NBA has big games coming up, you see the commercials everywhere.
Yep.
WNBA, you have no idea when the ladies are playing. So it's like, how can I really know there's a game unless I'm all the way into it? And it's like, not everyone is a fan of the NBA, but because you see it so much, you will go like, oh, let me go check this out because, they're throwing it all in my face. So if they do the same with the WNBA, there's little girls, teenage girls who are like, man, I want to watch this more. But I don't see enough of it to know where I can go and find it.
Exactly.
Well, we always say representation matters. Mm-hmm. That's a big, big, part of our manifesto. So that's why I want to keep talking about the WNBA, and I think these discussions are good to have.
Yes. Yeah, I love it.
And so, like I said, I sound like a broken record, but I want to do my part, and I think it's fantastic, and I wouldn't endorse something that I didn't really feel was an amazing sport or something that I was totally into. And so thank you guys for joining in on that convo.
Go Sparks.
Absolutely. So switching gears. We're super excited because we're gonna get social now. What? And this is where I would like Mykell to tell us.
Yeah.
He's gonna get social. He was just at the Truth Hollywood with Courtside Radio, and his starting five with the legendary Paul Pierce. So tell us, how did the event go? What are some hot takes? What did you find out? How are the hookahs? Give us the lowdown.
Man, it was a great event. You guys can listen to the live show here on the Good News Radio app. Courtside Radio. We'll be dropping it once again tomorrow for our time slot, 6:30. But, man, it was a great experience to have Paul Pierce to be there on our show. Just to get insight, we were talking about the draft, so we were able to talk to him about his draft experience and how he was the 10th pick of his draft. But he said most people were excited when they were drafted. He said he was upset because he was like, I'm better than all these other guys. So he remembered all 9 players that was picked before him.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was just like, damn.
Vendetta.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's burned in his memory.
Man, so he held on to that chip. We brought up the poopy situation.
Okay.
We
What
had-
did he say?
He didn't really want to talk too much about it, but he was kind of like, yeah, you guys got me. So that was crazy. We were able to talk to him about his favorite career moments, kind of like the Al Harrington play when he was talking crap to him and made the shot in his face. How it felt beating the Lakers, or being a guy from Inglewood, California, to play for the rival team. Like he said, he grew up a Laker fan and was all about the Lakers, and it's like, oh, well, how crazy I'm about to be a Celtic. And just
huge rivalry.
Yeah, huge. Rivalry there. And, man, we just enjoyed it. He was doing hookah the entire show, kicking back, having fun.
Nice.
See that.
Clipper Darrell was in the building talking
Saw
his mess when we talked about the free agents. So I said it on my show. I'm going to say it here, too, that in 2 years, Clipper Darrell will be Laker Darrell because the Lakers will be the championship team once again. So just be on the lookout with that. But
all right,
hey, it was a great experience. Yep. A lot of people came out to support.
So cool.
Yeah, packed.
Yeah, we had good drinks there, food. Nice. Man, we had so much fun. You could check out the entire episode on YouTube.
Oh, excellent!
Yeah,
nice.
So you
Very
can go
cool.
on YouTube, type in the Courtside Radio with Alexander Himes, and you can see the video. Then on IG, we're posting pictures and highlights from it. So it was a great experience.
How are you like a huge Paul Pierce fan? I mean, I know because I've been a Laker fan forever, and so the rivalry has been like growing up. You just knew you had to hate the Celtics. Like it was just like that's what you do.
Agreed.
It's automatic. Did you want to like talk a little shit to him? Or,
no, I actually did.
Like...
I told him that he played for the second greatest sports franchise in all of sports, and he had some words to combat me, but it's what I'll forever believe. But no, the crazy part is I told him before that I became a fan of Paul Pierce because watching college basketball, I didn't really have a team. Like UCLA was there, of course, but I always liked to be different. Everybody liked UCLA. I saw Kansas play, and I was like, oh, this guy's from Inglewood. That's not too far from, where I'm growing up. And he was so good there that ever since there, I became a Kansas Jayhawk fan. So every year that's the team that I'm checking for, and it's because of him because he was playing on that team. But, yeah, I had to give love to the Lakers. I told him that I will buy him a Laker jersey and put Pierce on the back, 34.
Is he a Laker fan now? I mean, he's not.
No, he's a
Celtics.
Celtic. Yeah, he's a Celtic guy.
What?
Celtics.
What? Like, he could change. Like, he could just be like,
maybe it's part of his retirement
It's in his
contract. I don't
DNA.
know.
Yeah.
Do you think the Celtics are part of his DNA now?
Yeah.
Boston can
He
get
just
under your skin,
he just
so.
got back from Boston that the night before he did the show. So he was like he had to do some stuff.
Does
out
he
there,
live
so.
there? Is he living in
He lives
Boston?
in
No,
LA,
he lives in
right?
LA. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's out this way.
Okay.
Well, wait. If you had a choice, would you live in Boston or
No.
LA?
Oh my God.
I visited once and I hated it.
Is that even a choice?
It was the worst.
That's like apples to raisins, man. Moldy ass raisins in a
Man.
box.
He talked about he just started a CBD company.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
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 What's
So
it called?
That's it.
Vesper.
Yep.
Vesper. You can check. It's on IG. They
Wait,
have-
is it vapes?
Yeah, I believe it's like vapes.
Oh, it's like
marijuana
vapes.
vapes. Yeah.
That's a good
Nutritional
topic
vapes?
coming up. We should talk about cannabis and NBA players.
Oh, yeah, we have a potential guest
because
on the horizon.
a lot of people don't know his story, and some of the stuff I didn't know about. But if you guys remember in the year 2000, like probably like a month or two before the season, he was stabbed 11 times.
In the face.
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
Yeah, he was stabbed 11
In Boston?
times. Yeah, in Boston.
Of course. See?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He
And he still
cannot
has a love for
be a fucking Boston. It's like, you know when you're like, why aren't you a Boston fan anymore? You play for them. I got stabbed in the
Yeah.
face. Like
I got
I
stabbed.
think that's an okay reason
That's some
to like
abuser
not
cycle
be
shit.
Yeah.
fucking Boston
Well,
fan
hold on,
any
the
longer.
team
Therapy.
didn't stab him in the face.
But he was playing for the team.
Yeah.
It's like
What if
you
Well, it's probably fans,
triggered.
Boston fans.
So
Come
wouldn't
on.
you
What if
get
the
triggered?
What if the person wasn't from Boston?
Okay,
What if they were from
so
LA?
Zach-
Yeah, what if they're a
right.
Laker fan?
No,
Okay,
no,
so
no,
Zach,
it's gotta
so
be.
let's say there's a place you love. Let's say you love McDonald's,
Okay.
right?
I like McDonald's.
Let's say you like McDonald's, and you're going out with the love of your life, and she dumps you in the McDonald's.
In the McDonald's.
In the
okay.
McDonald's,
All right.
would you say if I was like, dude, you're a total McDonald's loyalist, and you're like, well, I go to Wendy's now.
Because they got dope nuggets.
Well, wouldn't it also you would have shades of like, oh, this person dumped me?
I don't really remember getting stabbed in the face at McDonald's.
So my point was clearly not made.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, I think he has an excuse now. So sorry.
I
Well,
think
yeah.
that's a little personal for you. You want him to be a Lakers fan.
No, I just think like he's living in LA. He's from Inglewood.
Yeah.
He was a Laker fan before he joined the Celtics. I don't think, I would think it would be a very easy.
But he played for the Clippers his last year.
That's
Yeah.
well. Still, I mean,
Maybe he should be a Clippers fan.
maybe.
So tell me this: if you worked for a company for 20 years,
Yes.
and
And I got stabbed in the face.
yeah, you got stabbed in the
But that was
face.
way back in year 2.
Yeah,
It's no big deal.
yeah, and I'll say if you were working for Fox Sports, but you always been ESPN,
Right.
and then you finally leave Fox Sports and you're
Right.
done. Pretty sure that you're going to be like,
Well,
oh, Fox Sports now, no more
I
ESPN.
don't know about the Fox Sports reference.
Well, I would
That's-
probably
that's
be
just
like, fuck Fox Sports. Why aren't I working there anymore?
Yeah.
I'm going to delete their app and I'm just going to watch it.
Yeah. Someone's already doing it. She's like, yeah, we're not going to use the fantasy app we used last year. We're going to use a different one.
We're using a different one. So,
But
yeah.
you're not in the rafters at Fox Sports. Paul Pierce is up in the rafters.
Okay, all right. That's
Yeah.
fair.
TD
That's
Garden.
fair.
Yep.
That's
And
fair.
our number one fan thinks that Paul Pierce should be a Nets fan.
He played for the Nets
Okay,
as well.
he did play for the Nets.
Man, no way.
He played for
He gave
more
them.
teams than I remember.
He gave
now.
them shitty years for the Nets.
Shit
He did
years.
what he could. That's not his fault that he was old and not worth the contract.
Yeah, that was one of the worst trades ever. You get an old KG and Paul Pierce to ruin your franchise.
An anonymous
yeah.
Knicks fan also said that Paul Pierce didn't even miss a game after being stabbed.
No, he didn't.
So-
Wait, what did Kevin Durant say?
No.
Right?
KD, what's up, man?
Well, thank you for that recap, and it's awesome that it's on YouTube. I
Yeah.
definitely want to watch that. I
Yep,
mean,
yep.
I was totally obsessing over all of your Instagram stories and everything, and it looked like it was really good. My apologies that I wasn't able to go there to support in real time, but
All
I
good.
promise I was watching
More to come.
everything.
More to
Video
come.
on
Well,
demand,
also
baby.
he says like, "Hey, you should come." He tells me like a couple days prior, like I got no plans, and you know how busy I have a fucking calendar on my wall because
It's
I'm
a
so
huge
fucking
ass
busy.
fucking calendar.
And then he's like, and maybe we'll put you on the microphone. And that's like, no, I don't want to go on the microphone. I'm already terrified. So I'm just like,
Oh man.
yeah. And plus, I just feel like I would get in a fight with Paul Pierce. Like, I just know in my heart.
Well, yeah, you
But that
tell
would have
him
been
the truth.
great.
I'd be like,
That would have been on brand
like,
list.
seriously, I don't want to go to jail for putting hands on Paul Pierce. So, but thank you for the recap. And like I said, it would please go and see the YouTube. And I hope you'll probably maybe do some more. So
Yeah, we plan to do more live
Yeah.
shows. So
your live shows are always really packed.
yeah, we try to
Yeah.
we try to tell as many people as possible to
Yeah.
come out and show
Yeah,
love.
I
That's
I
great.
gotta come down for that. For
Yeah,
sure.
for sure, for sure.
You bring a
Excellent.
Serge Ibaka, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I'm sorry.
I'm
but,
gonna run over here, girl.
let's
I
tell
don't need a
you,
flight. Where's that bullet train?
We are talking about social, and I would like Serge Ibaka's social Instagram. He's wild and out, and he is like naked, and he has like a underwear company. I'm just like, sis, it's on fire,
Fire.
fire.
KD
fire.
just told us, you anonymous Knicks fan, he said, check out my new kicks on Nike.com. He left the link. So, he's promoting his
All
new
right,
gear.
so Katie is promoting his new gear.
Oh, God,
Amazing.
we got bamboozled.
A couple things also on Let's Get Social. I don't, we're running. It's 7:30 right now, so
Let's ask them this question before we.
I thought I did. Okay, so we did a Twitter social experiment on basketball movies. It was like, what without looking at the comments, what is name the first basketball movie that comes to mind? And Mykell, what did you say?
Mine was He Got Game.
Okay, so that was not even
That's crazy.
in the reply.
Yeah.
No, that is my favorite.
That is your favorite?
Look at you. You
But for
guys
me,
new
it
friends.
would have been Blue Chips.
Yeah, Blue Chips is one
Okay,
of mine.
I never saw Blue Chips.
I haven't
I
seen
saw
Blue
it in
Chips.
theaters.
So I watched it recently on Prime. You saw it in the theater?
Oh, it's on Prime?
So did Nick's fan. Anonymous Nick's fan.
We probably went to the same exact
I think
film.
you were
Yeah.
together in the theater. Okay, so based on the social experiment, the number one was Space Jam.
Yep.
Duh.
Duh.
Right.
I
It's
don't know how
because
I
it's
did
just
it.
like
The
in
remake.
top of
Of
mind.
course,
Yep.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah. Yeah. And because,
Bunny.
the remake is happening, so it's
Yeah.
on top of everyone's timeline.
Mm-hmm.
And LeBron cannot stop talking about it. So it's out there. The next
Better not
one
fuck it
was,
up.
well, I know, right? The next one, well, can you fuck it up? It's kind of not a really good movie.
I feel like LeBron could fuck anything up.
Yeah,
Not really?
I agree.
Oh my
Bad
God.
acting can, for
Because
sure.
we're already
Sad.
comparing him and Jordan, and he can make it trash, and we're like, oh, we like Jordan better.
Yeah. It's
This
gonna
will
be
this will decide if he is the GOAT or not.
Yeah.
But hey,
Yeah.
you know,
Space Jam.
his Taco Tuesday
I
video.
fucking love it. Taco
Taco
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Hilarious.
The next one was well, actually, yeah, white. It was kind of a tie between White Men Can't Jump and Love and Basketball.
Oh, okay.
So those were there. Someone put in Double Teamed.
Oh yeah, and then
Dude, I fucking had to look that shit
Yeah,
up.
what the hell is
Okay,
that?
Tell
it's a
them.
Disney produced movie, and it's two white girls like Heather and Andrea.
like that's a porn
And
No.
she
title.
thought it was a porn.
Yeah, it sounds like a basketball porn, double teamed.
Yeah.
Wait, can you send me the link to that?
It's on Pornhub.com /
Katie Burner account. Can you please send?
Yeah, can you add that on the comments?
Double teamed.
Yeah, so double team, two people. I mean,
So
and I'm
weird.
not gonna. I'm not gonna.
who were these people?
Well,
The two girls from the movie.
yes,
The two chicks.
pretty
Trying
much.
to promote it again because they're gonna do a remake.
Yeah, they're getting residuals.
check this
I
shit
mean,
out.
I'm not going to profile people, but yes, it was that type of person.
Might have been one of my friends. Sorry.
Someone said Air Bud.
Oh,
Air
I
Bud.
loved
Air
Air
Bud.
Bud.
Okay, Air Bud.
What a talented dog.
Two
Facts.
people. Hoosiers was
Hoosiers,
another one
yeah,
that came
It
old
was a
out.
school.
little before my time.
Coach Carter
Coach Carter.
was also another one. Blue Chips, and then The Air Up There.
Oh,
there.
great.
That was with Kevin Bacon, right?
Yeah, Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was dope.
That was a great movie.
He Got Game was not in the mix, which
That's a
I thought
shame.
was really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Denzel Washington. Spike
Hoop
Lee.
Dreams was not
Yeah.
How come
there.
Uncle Drew ain't on here?
Uncle Drew wasn't on there.
What's the
Trash.
movie? I can't think of it
What
right
was
now.
it?
But with
What?
Tupac and
Oh, that one is
Marlon Wayans.
That's Above the Rim.
Above the Rim. There you
That's
go.
Above the Rim.
Above
That
the
was
Rim.
there.
That's Above
I
the
think
Rim.
I put Above the Rim.
That one was dope.
I just like it because of Tupac.
Yeah.
It wasn't a very good movie. But yeah, so that was actually a lot of fun to,
That's dope.
That was
See
our
what
best.
people like
That was our
that,
best
yeah.
engagement. Yes,
Yeah.
girl.
So, I mean, people seem to be into our little social experiment. And we also follow up on it because someone asked when we might have the white paper ready with the data analysis on this social experiment.
Yes.
What kind of stat nerd is that? That's
Wow.
also not a Miss Knicks fan, isn't it?
Yeah.
Actually, it's probably a different Katie Burner account.
Oh.
But yeah, so I thought that was kind of cool. Also, quickly, the summer book club that I started. It's a book club of one, so I don't know if it could be a club. Yeah. Well, to be fair, I picked up Andre Iguodala's new memoir, The Sixth Man. I got it on audio, and I got to tell you guys, like, I asked him when I'm on, is he retiring? Because he's wilding out on this
Man,
book.
and that's the same thing I was thinking.
He must be retiring.
Wait, did he do the VO for the audiobook? Because that would have been cool.
It's him and someone else are narrating.
Cool.
Oh, that's
So
dope.
that's kind of cool to hear
Yeah.
him. I usually do when I love Audible is where I listen, and if it's a memoir or something where that person reads it, it's just gives you a different
Yeah.
aspect of the written word. So I'm almost done with it, but I thought what was really interesting is he does talk a lot about how it is to come into the NBA, like how the draft.
Yeah.
And he's really down on that whole system. He's the one, Blue Chips is what he referenced it. And he said for him, Blue Chips was the closest to showing the underbelly, of collegiate business of athletes,
NCAA, yep.
right? And so he was just like, he talks about the racial tensions in the NBA. Just even when he went to school, in high school, he was in what are those programs that accelerated programs,
for like super smart kids.
Yeah. And that the teacher was like, I think you're in the wrong classroom.
Oh, hell no.
And he was like, he was the only, it was all white people, and it was just like him, and he had to show her the schedule. So, he talks about all of this, which is really interesting, which also he brings up that, looking at how, we've talked about this a lot, about how the Warriors getting better, have priced out their own fans, the real fans.
Yeah.
He talks just overall about the bargaining agreement, how like they try to separate people from the bargaining agreement in the NBA. So I just thought it was really interesting. The one thing I will say he's kind of petty about is the media, because he's like, the media, they just try to create these narratives, and they don't know us, and we have to say certain things, but we really played like with these guys back in the day, and so we know them, but we can't really say it. Like, he's like, we can't just go and say like we're a great team, and that's why we beat so and so, because then the media will like do this, so they have to do all those canned responses and what have you. So I would say that he's doing his press tour, he's doing his book tour right now, and he was on the Breakfast Club, and if you guys check out that interview,
I saw that.
Very, very interesting. He also, he came down on the Warriors athletic team, the doctors there. He was like saying like, they told me things they had, and he talked about Mark Jackson also being blackballed for his religious beliefs, which, that is I don't want to I want to talk about it, but I don't want to be flippant about that particular point, because it is about Mark Jackson's religious beliefs, and there's things that I found problematic with what Mark Jackson was implementing in that portion. So it'd be good, just to see it for yourself and make that, decision on if you thought he should be blackballed or not. Because I personally was like, he sounds homophobic to me. So,
Really?
He's trying to.
Well, homophobia aside, I thought he should have been the coach of the Lakers.
Mark Jackson?
Personally, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought he should have been, like, what he did was help build that Warriors team, and he's like
defensively.
Yeah, and you can do that. I feel that he was a former Knick.
Yeah.
Could have coached there, and maybe he would have been a good guy for the Lakers, but I didn't know about the homophobia thing. So.
Well, because his religion is about talking about it's a man and a woman only, those types of things. So it's very exclusionary to like gender fluidity, and having a Warrior organization that has
in the Bay Area.
It's kind of like, if I'm part owner and he is saying something that's against me, I'm gonna be like, we need to talk about Mark.
But unfortunately, we have part owners that are racist and still get to keep their profit, but just get banned from a game.
That too. And he talks about that as well.
Good.
Oh, the guy hitting Cal.
Yeah, he talked about that I think on the Breakfast Club.
Okay.
Yeah, but he does say about Mark Jackson how he liked the way his coaching style, and literally like he went for knee surgery or something, and then he came back and he had Steve Kerr as a coach.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's when Steve Kerr was like, I think we'll put you on the bench, and so he's like, fuck. He also really talks about KD a lot in the book, about the whole Hamptons 5 thing,
when they
that whole night.
Oh, when they recruited him.
Yeah. I just think that it's just like some of the things that I thought were some of the things that I was kind of like, ugh, this is kind of problematic, is the fact that he kind of put a lot of it on the media. Like, the media's problem is that they'd rather have us fight for the narrative that they make than like really understanding us, who we are, and those types of things.
I mean, people don't really care.
I know.
No, yeah. But he isn't the first player to talk like that. A lot of guys, like my friend from high school was Russell Westbrook, and I always have talks to him about how he really feels about the media, and he's like, I don't really care about them. A lot of those guys never played basketball ever, and they just want to bring up, like, make stories, so they would ask you and tell you anything.
Right.
I think it's you let them affect you how you want them to.
But what's the threshold?
I mean, you could pull a Russell Westbrook and say, next question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Or you can be very politically correct. Like LeBron always gives even when he's passive aggressive, he'll give you just like an eloquent, well thought out.
Or do better tomorrow.
Yeah.
Walk out.
So
Kawhi too. Keep it short, concise.
Yeah. That's the way to do it, Kawhi. Just keep it short and let them keep trying to get something from you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, did anyone see that interview in one of the finals games? Someone asked him a question, and then that was it. And he was like, "Is that it?"
Yeah, he like laughed and was
That's
like, "Yeah, we're just going back to Toronto." Right?
Yeah, well, Kawhi, your answers are so fucking boring.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, on top of it, like, how many times can you be? They ask the same questions.
Yeah,
It's repetitive.
And what I think has to be done is you have to diversify the actual reporters, because some of these reporters that are talking to them, these guys, players don't really know or aren't comfortable with. But if you get more faces and people that they're comfortable with, they're going to give more authentic answers and be more willing to answer the question that's being asked.
Yeah.
Or how about they just ask better questions?
That too.
Yeah.
But if
Instead of
somebody
repeating
does-
questions too.
You just have the dumbest questions
if somebody
asked.
doesn't
Yeah.
like you when maybe you had conversations away from the podium, then once they give you a question, you're going to give them a bad answer or not answer it. But if you have a relationship with guys and they see you and like, oh, hey, what's up, man? What's your question? And they're going to give you a more, be more real and be willing to answer your question the right way.
Do you think, though, that the ferocity in which we want that information is also causing these media outlets to want to sensationalize or like ask questions that sound uneducated that ultimately piss off the player? Or, are we part of the, the fans part of the cause of this?
Yeah, because you want that juicy story, you want to be able to look at New York Daily News and check in the back and say, oh, snaps, KD said this about New York. It gives you something to talk about.
Right.
It gives these shows First Take.
Right.
Something to talk about. You get to discuss this, because if it was just bland everything, then you wouldn't have no talk shows. It'd just be like 1950 radio.
But also too, they're answering a lot of questions after a game.
True.
Like my ass is hangry.
Yeah.
Tired.
Yep.
With all due respect,
that's not a good environment.
They're making a lot of money. I mean, if I was getting paid to do that, I wouldn't bitch about asked questions.
Yeah.
I would just do better myself at answering the questions.
I would just find ways to...
Whatever.
to
We've been in
defeat
work
them.
meetings together, bro. Don't tell me that you would be like totally profesh as an NBA
that's
player
my whole
after
point.
a hangry game.
That's my whole point. I wouldn't be more profesh. I would just not give such redundant answers. I would actually come out of my shell and say, like, how about you ask me something like this, for example?
Liar.
Well, I don't. Yeah, I'm gonna say.
You don't think I would do that?
Because here's the thing, like, I think that you have frustrations when you see that they continue to push on a process that is broken. So you have spoken out against it, and what happens? Shut down.
Yep.
And so you can imagine you get these guys, no matter how much they're getting paid, where you're just like, once I have I explode. I've hit the threshold, and I want to answer better because I want better questions. That's when like no.
Yeah.
We need our soundbite.
Well, for example, I think Draymond Green does it up the right way. He's always giving you juicy information.
Yeah, he keeps it real.
He keeps it real.
You're just saying that because you wrote copy for him.
I didn't even. Okay, back me up. Someone back me up.
No, I'm in agreement.
No, yeah, I think, as long as you keep it real, of course you don't tell everything that's going on in the locker room, but if you keep it real, and then people know, okay, we can't ask him certain stuff because he's just going to, like, push it away. But, if you're just on the mic and you're just disrespectful, it's like, reporters, they're doing their job, so maybe the question that they're asking is not even from them.
It's usually not.
Yeah, and that's what
they
I'm saying.
have a list that they
have to ask. So it's just like, hey, they're doing their job. Find a way to respect it. If you don't like the question, I don't want to answer that next question.
Well, and also, I mean, because in watching the games, you always wait for the press conference after. do you think that sometimes you're just like, we don't have to have these press like why I don't need to hear a player saying the same thing you know what it says
for the winner.
Okay,
I like it because you want to see that feeling that they have. But when they expect it's a finals game, we just lost. You really think I want to be up here talking to you?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's like I just had this fight. Somebody beat me up. And my homies are like, hey, man, what happened, man? Tell me what happened. I don't want to tell you.
They do that because they're hoping you say the wrong thing.
Exactly.
See, that's what I'm saying. So
Set
it's
up
like,
for failure.
why you're set up to fail. So it's like, leave
that's
these
like
guys.
you know what? I always remember that game with the Clippers and the Warriors. With Lou Williams and Patrick Beverly.
Oh, sure,
and they asked about, guarding KD. And
Oh,
Lou Williams was like, we tried.
Yeah, we tried. Hey.
We tried our hardest.
Yeah.
What do you want me to say? Even Patrick Beverly was like, he's KD.
Yeah, true.
We did our best. What do you want?
To say?
It's like he was even like, if you can tell me well, I can do better to guard him, I will do that.
Yeah.
But I was doing everything that I could.
Yep.
You know what my favorite is? Pop. Popovich is like, hey,
he's a god.
I control this, so we're going to
He's a
move
god.
how I want to move. So
love
he
Pop.
should really teach on how to do
Yeah,
that. And maybe he taught.
He could
maybe
be a media
he taught
consultant.
Kawhi.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
he helped
that's
Kawhi
true.
shape Kawhi.
Yeah, true.
Because those guys, the Spurs to me were always the most boring team to watch. They were like putting you to sleep with their like
systematic
basic
process
system.
ass motherfucker.
So, but
Yeah.
Pop was like, I think there was a game where he said we were crap.
Yeah, it's like,
That's why we lost because we were crap.
Done.
he's like, I remember one question they asked him. So, Pop, can you tell me about the game? What happened? We lost by 15 points. They made more shots than we did.
That's an obvious. Yeah.
That's how we lost.
So not to cut out the fun, I'm at the board right now. We got 10 minutes to go.
Oh, you got it.
Okay, so I think we should move on to Sweaty and Petty. Let's do this.
Let's do this.
And I think really what we need, because we have Zach in the house.
Oh my God, we have to take advantage.
We have to talk about fantasy
Make that
basketball.
Full sweat.
Okay.
We have to talk about fantasy basketball. Mykell, do you play?
No, it's too much.
What?
I
Yeah.
only played because they made me.
Oh, okay.
What?
I
It's
see.
not like,
Whatever. You played
God.
baseball.
Oh my
That's
God.
way more
I
complicated.
only played that because they made me.
No way.
Oh, okay.
Okay, there's auto everything.
Okay, the baseball was trash. I could not handle
Girl,
hang with
I
that.
auto drafted, left it alone, won. So I don't even know why you're
That is
complaining.
true. That is true. Well, we're not going to name the game that we played because fuck that shit.
We did in the past. But
Okay,
yeah, fuck
we
that
did
shit.
in the past, and I tried not to, but you are a loyal member
Sorry,
of
it's
that
organization.
organization.
It's ingrained. I
But-
bleed purple.
Yeah, I know, I get it, but we are not going to name it unless
Nope.
they want to sponsor us.
Yes.
So we played fantasy basketball. We play in a league called Not the NBA. I am the commissioner, and last season,
I want to know their team names.
What
was yours?
I don't remember my team.
my
name.
name
I was the player hitter's ball.
I think it was Slay All Day. Mine was
Oh, yeah,
Slay
yeah,
All
okay.
Day.
I just think it was Zach's show.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was Zach's
yeah.
show. It was Zach's show. So the fun part, and maybe you want to join our league this season, we do a draft. We do live draft.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's a
Okay.
lot of fun. We get together in a room and like we make fun of people and drink beer, and we'll probably do a live draft on the show if we
Oh, that'd
schedule
be
it
fun,
right.
yeah.
That would be dope.
I'll be back for that if I'm allowed.
yeah.
Yeah, of course you're allowed. You're honorary
Bring
member.
snacks.
This guy all season was like Kawhi. This season,
Remember? Yeah, I remember
this
that.
season, and we kept going, "Fuck
Shut
that
up.
dude! Shut
Be
up!"
quiet.
So I'm giving you your props.
Load
Although,
management. His name is Load Management.
yeah, which fucked him in fantasy,
Yeah, I know.
yeah, it did.
Big time.
Yeah.
big time.
2 years in a row, this guy has fucked me.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
on fantasy.
Oh.
I picked LeBron James first round this past season, and then I picked before that it was Russell Westbrook.
Yep.
Was my first round pick. And Harden
Was
was
mine.
yours,
Yep.
which
Oh,
I
wow.
mean,
was already
fuck.
predicted number
Hello.
one.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I think Karen came in second place.
Yes, but that was a weird. Liz was first for all
I
season.
dominated all season
And then
long.
what happened?
It
It was
doesn't
that
fucking
one
matter.
block.
Playoffs will fuck you.
It was
if
that
Yeah. Oh,
one
that's
block
crazy.
that knocked you out.
It was you, bitch.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah, it was one block.
Motherfucker, it was you. And you weren't even worthy enough to win the league.
I know. Well, that's because it was the
Whatever.
Charlotte Hornets game, and I had the wrong lineup for that. I had Kemba.
Zach, I think you came in 4th.
Yeah, but I'll keep picking Kawhi.
Well, if he's available.
Yeah.
People know he's his
Loyal.
secret now.
I think it's like this.
Yeah,
If
he won't be
someone
available.
establishes themselves as like that's my guy, you let them take that guy.
True.
It's like a fantasy courtesy.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone's gonna
Yeah.
be nice to you for
I'm
that one.
proposing fantasy courtesy.
And no one gave me Curry.
as an
Shit.
idea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I play
seriously.
fantasy, but fantasy football, I like
Oh,
it.
okay.
I like it much
Okay.
better.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I would never allow someone to pick their player. I'm taking that player.
You'll like basketball is much. It's easy too. Like
Yeah.
the weekly lineup
What's really-
resets and stuff. It's
Oh,
yeah.
so it's not a day by day thing?
it is. But
Well, you can, but in certain apps, you can set your lineup for the week.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
active
Yeah.
and then go in and
then
just
go
edit
in and edit
adjust.
where you need to.
Oh,
And you
okay.
see that, and it'll give you alerts and whatever. So the apps are very advanced on like keeping you,
Up to
game
date.
ready.
Yeah.
I will say though, what's very interesting about playing fantasy that I liked is that you have to be smart about like what are the stats of a player.
Yeah.
Because we play on like categories, so it's like blocks, 3 points, those field goal percentage, stuff like that. And also, it's not about being a fan of a particular team.
No,
You know,
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
you pick
Yeah.
everything, so you got to know a lot of range.
Yeah.
So my first
do
season
it.
playing, I picked DeAndre Jordan and some other big ass dude. And I was like, I'm gonna crush all the rebounds. I'm gonna get all the blocks. And then after the draft, I noticed that 3-point percentage and free throw percentage
Are
were
more points?
were
Yeah.
equal
Oh.
to blocks and
Yeah.
rebounds.
That's
so those
crazy.
just canceled.
Yeah.
Oh, Dwight Howard also. So those
Yes.
just canceled each
Oh
other
God,
out.
I know.
Those just canceled each other out.
I
Craziness.
took that season, so I've won the league twice, and this last one was just. I pride in is that one block. And you know what's funny too is that you can be watching the game, right?
Yeah.
And you have the app open and you're just like, fuck it.
Every stat.
If I could please, and you'd be like, wait, who the fuck got that block? And it'll be someone playing the Lakers,
Yeah, yeah.
but the opponent has the guy, and you're just like, I fucking love you, LA, but I need
you
it.
to, yeah.
I need you to not do that. I
Yeah,
need
yeah.
this guy to block or get the rebound. So it's pretty fun, and we talk shit.
Talk
and
shit.
It's
Yeah.
great, but I think the most fun is around our draft. Because we do it live and we could set it. And we're going to do it again this season. Zach, of course. Mykell, if you want to be in it. I mean, Jackie, who's over here. On
Jackie,
the
yeah,
fringe.
join us, baby.
Whoever wants to. We don't really need to know basketball. We say this all the time. As a matter of fact, when we play fantasy, we're like, these are our picks. Not your picks. You do whatever the fuck you want.
Yep.
Don't blame me if
Yeah.
you suck. So, because
Don't
I'm
put
winning.
money on my shit.
Because I'm a winner. I was a winner all season. So, and Anonymous Knicks Fan 922 is also in another league with me, and he calls my league the Scab League because I'm like, whatever.
What a
So,
hater.
yeah, he's a hater. That's okay. That's all right.
Man, fuck you, Kevin Durant.
So I thought it would be good to round out Sweaty and Petty with that because we get real sweaty and petty, and it's just fun watching all the games, and we'll text one another during the games and just like really give each. I mean, there is a messenger thing in that stupid app, but it's
No,
garbage.
It's garbage. It stopped
Yeah.
being.
So
managed.
we're looking for a new app. So anybody out there, we're
Or
ready
any
to
new
test.
sponsors.
Any sponsors
Add
that
us.
want to like sponsor us to play fantasy basketball, where we get extra. Not super, but extra.
I'm gonna change my name.
To what?
Kawhi till I die.
I like
Oh
that.
my God,
That's a good
Kanye.
one. So we got a couple minutes, and I think that's it.
Can I give a shout out?
Please,
Oh.
please, let's do that.
Lonzo Ball, man. You're gonna be a great player. I miss you already.
Oh, man.
But
What?
keep-
Break up with your dad?
But keep doing the show because I really like watching your show. So that's
Okay.
all I gotta
All
say.
right.
But do you want to promote anything before we leave?
Nah.
Your handle or anything?
Oh yeah, Herman's _ hell.
Oh, I thought you meant his Tinder handle.
It's gonna be a good time.
I think that's also Zach's show.
That's funny.
You know, I gave someone a show the other night.
Oh my
okay,
God.
let's cut him out. Okay,
Mute. Mykell, please tell us about yourself.
You guys can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Mykell the PG. Courtside Radio. Make sure you guys also follow that on Instagram. And check out all the exciting stuff that we have going, man. You ladies have to come. I don't know when you're leaving, Karen, but the Drew League is every Saturday and Sunday here in Watts.
Yeah.
Where I was there this past weekend. I met LeVar Ball.
Yeah.
Sweet.
LaMelo
I might
Ball.
be down.
Lonzo was there. So you
She's
see
here this weekend.
Yeah, you see
Okay.
a lot of different guys. About 6 games every Saturday, Sunday. So it's
Very
dope.
cool. Well, I also know that the WNBA is doing something in Venice Beach on Saturday where they're doing like a clinic for girls
fun.
doing basketball, playing basketball.
You know.
And I believe a couple of Candace Parker is going to be there, and someone else from the Sparks will be in attendance to go to that clinic. So that's this Saturday. We'll post it on Instagram and on Twitter if you guys want more information on that. But thank you, Zach. Thank you, Mykell, for coming to the show.
For sure.
This is like the most like dick we've had in a room for a while, Karen.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So thank you for that. And of course, like I said, always you can find us at The Hoops Talking. Please message us, follow us, share us, what have you. And if you didn't catch us on the live show, you're going to be able to hear us on demand on